Yeah, I understand. But um, you know, when it comes to the issue of self-discipline, is the medicine of self-control. That is the reason when you read on the book of Proverbs chapter number 19, verse 20, the word says, "Listen to an advice and accept discipline, and at the end you will be counted among the wise." Responding to this chapter about self-discipline as the medicine of self-control, I can regard this chapter as the heartbeat of this book because discipline stems within us as a wake-up call in terms of making an awareness over what is brought by seasons and time. And it is very much hard for most people to understand. So the prelude of this chapter is taking us closer to developing and extend understanding to know more about the future. About the nature of discipline as a platform which nature can use in favor and against us as a consequential effect, which often time season and time present situations we encounter as people. And thereby, we also expect them to respond if we are not disciplined enough, especially in this subject of things and time. So that's why chances to lose focus are too much. So, according to the research that I have made, is that there is some few levels of disciplines which their permanent employment within our lives can provide necessary help to defeat bad effects which we have plunged ourselves in during the course of seasons and time. So don't forget that there is no things and time where there is no season and time. So these are some of the things which I supposed to put it clear so that people can understand. Opening script to our chapter is of course giving us a command, although the same rest in freedom of choice in terms of decision making, but listening to an advice is very much important. We often recognize a fool and a wise person by what he says, and listening is the cause and the source. We gauge how wise you are by listening without interruption. So lack of listening skill is a problem because it substitutes an intellectual capacity. And once more, those who advise you, they love you. Sometimes they can advise hatefully, but it is the point of correction. Please listen because the source of all advices sources out from advice, and advice can come to you into many ways. Some they can advise you by talking, some they can act harshly, some they may appear soft at the end. All are shaping you to be a good person. Anyone who advises you know the jeopardy you will face ahead before you reach there. So you cannot take people to the place further than you have gone. So this is one of the realities we should have to tell people so that they can understand. And most of the people who can advise you might be those who are having more knowledge, wisdom, and experience than you do. Some they can tackle and advise as someone is wishing them bad luck. No, if you accept discipline, you will be counted among the wise. And remember, no one who could be wise in this life without receiving advices from other people. Even when presidents who are leading countries, behind their scenes, there are those who are advising them. So experience give birth to wisdom, and wisdom makes someone wise. And experience differ in years, and there is no academic institute that can teach you experience. Only life can, through multi-changing seasons. What I like and advice does not respect the age. The young can advise an elder, and the elder can also advise the young one. So maybe the question will come on what is a discipline? So it's a system of rules of conduct and or method of practice. You create rules for yourself that you turn them to a practice which governs your attitude. So one other thing, discipline starts in your mind. You can't sustain your vision if you are not disciplined enough, or if you don't discipline yourself. We are sure about your future by means of reading the list of your disciplinary action. How do we see a man of discipline? These are some things which we can be able to observe. Order, which is the condition of regular or a proper arrangement. Prudence, which is about knowing how to avoid embarrassment or distress. Purity, which is about becoming clean, pure, or free of guilt or sin. Respect, that is the condition of being honored, esteemed, respected, or well regarded. Or the one other last thing is about self-discovery, as finding yourself out in your lost senses. So discipline is finding all things you did disorder and begin to do things persuading order. Logic is the basis of discipline. Once discipline is set on a place, influences logical sense to be effective. Logic is the principle that guides reasoning within a given field or situation. So prudence as order is about application of this by not turning other people into stupid. What goes around comes around. This is the principle. So purity is as a discipline is don't defend yourself when you are wrong. A person who is disciplined cannot conceal what is bad or brag about it. So respect as a discipline. Respect does not have a barrier. It does not go by properties, fame, and money. You respect everyone as everyone worth respect. So self-discovery as a discipline. Finding out yourself, who you are, what do you need, what are you living for. This is the summary of self-discipline. Getting rid of people who surrounds you purposelessly. Act of extricating them is hard and difficult. Disciplining yourself is not an easy task. But remember, the following the series of discipline target as all areas of disciplines demands attitude of humanity. So here is about disciplining your tongue, disciplining your movement, disciplining yourself before others, discipline yourself in terms of making connections, discipline your children if you have them, and discipline your mind. So these are the 6 things which you must consider when you act on self-discipline. So that is the reason when you read on the book of Proverbs chapter 25 verse 15, it says, by long forbearing is a prince persuaded, and a soft tongue breaketh the bone. Tongue has got no bones, but it can break a person. Yet I need to emphasize something. Disciplining your tongue is minding your language. When you talk to people, whatever words which when could be used by someone could hurt you, don't use against someone else. Tongue is all about communication. Mind your words. I still remember I once wrote a poem which I call it Mind Your Words. And once you discharge words by your mouth, for they cannot retrieve. So benefits of good communication. It builds friendship, promote networking system, strengthen relationship, and good socialization. Bad communication destroy friendship, abort connection with people, weaken relationship, and promote isolation. Disciplining your movement is all about places we disclose ourselves, affect or impact our lives. The African proverbs that says birds of the same feather flock together. So people who are next to you can build or destroy you. Is the very same reiterating statement I used to quote, which I have composed it at some of my previous books, excluding to this one. But this one I have just added it as a quote. So disciplining yourself before others. Don't ever try to copy life of some other people, and don't advise over things that had subjugated yourself. Remember, people don't take what you say, but they take what you do. This is what you should have to know. And discipline your children. Children are the future, and they are the quick learners. The best way to educate children is by showing the way, by doing. Children often observe and they can quickly do. Sometimes they can take or copy behavior which they are getting from other children at school or where they commonly play. It is good to chasten them. Children are not like elderly. They are easily to discipline, and they cannot retaliate or hold a grudge like an old person, leading them to proper life. You can find it on the book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 18. So, benefits of self-discipline or disciplining your children. They shall hate you now, but in the future they will do respect you. Disciplining children is building a nation with respect, and the nation without respect is nation without order. So disciplining your mind is all about the kind of disciplinary as is the same as disciplining yourself, because mind of a human being control a person, and the only difference is the following: ears, mouth, and the body. So ear, of course, you can control what you hear, but you can control on how you think towards what you have heard. This is what you must know. And one other thing, mouth or think, you can control your mouth by controlling what you think. Don't insult, harsh, or any conduct that misplaces good behavior. Body is all about practice self-control against things you are not ready for your body. So your body is under the control of your mind. Each and every bad behavior is not a coincidence in action. So this is that's all about what I think is best when it comes to the issue of self-discipline as the medicine of self-control. I thank you for the opportunity.